Namaste. Welcome to the third webinar in the Arogya Samskriti webinar series. This is being organized by the Amrita IKS Center for Ayurveda, Vyakarana and Darshana, which is funded by the Ministry of Education under the IKS division at AICTE. So we are in this webinar focusing on one of the components of the IKS Center, that is the Ayurveda component, which deals with the theme Arogya Samskriti. We have proposed in our project that India has been throughout its evolutionary history an Arogya Samskriti, or a health conscious culture. This is evidenced by the amount and the wealth of health information available in non-medical Sanskrit texts. So in our project, we have compiled information from more than 200 Sanskrit texts covering various disciplines like Vedic literature, the poetry, Artha Shastra, Dharma Shastra, and so on and so forth. And all this information has been compiled and organized in a coherent manner. And these webinar series are actually focusing on various topics related to Arogya Samskriti. And in this particular webinar, we bring to you an interesting discussion on sleep and its importance in maintaining health. So we have as discussants here today Dr. Shyama Sundaran. He's one of the collaborators of the IKS Center project, and he's assistant professor in Samhita Siddhanta at Amrita School of Ayurveda. We also have Dr. Sushma N.S. She's an associate professor at the Department of Shalakya Tantra at the Amrita School of Ayurveda, and also a collaborator in the IKS project. And then we have the research fellow of the IKS Center, Dr. Priyada KV, who is a PG in Samhita Siddhanta, to discuss about sleep and how it is looked at in the ancient Indian tradition. So welcome to the webinar, and I hand over the proceedings to Dr. Shyama Sundaran.
Namah Shivaya. Thank you, Dr. Ramanohar, for the introduction on the webinar series on sleep. So I would like to start my discussion with the Ayurvedic perspective and how Ayurveda looks at sleep. So there is a mention of Traya Upasthambha. Traya Upasthambha means the three sub-pillars which are very crucial for maintaining individual health. So sleep is one among such three pillars identified by Ayurveda, which are very crucial for maintaining health. So in this particular webinar, we would explore verses from non-Ayurvedic classical texts that highlight the pivotal role of sleep in body sustenance, vitality, and overall well-being. So this webinar will illuminate ancient insights aligning with modern scientific understanding, emphasizing the practical application of these principles for improved sleep and holistic health. And at this juncture, I would also like to mention that this burden of health issues due to sleep is so much that the modern system of medicine has now decided to come up with an exclusive department known as the sleep medicine, which deals with the disorders of sleep. So this also highlights the importance of sleep in maintaining health. And with this short introduction, I would like to now invite Dr. Sushma to continue with the deliberations with the discussion on verses from non-Ayurvedic classical texts and some other references on sleep.
Thank you, Dr. Shyam. So before going to the topic in depth, let me explain the rationale of selecting this topic for today's discussion. So we did the literature search, and during the compilation, we came across many such papers And the studies reveal that reduced sleep duration is associated with 7 out of the 15 leading causes of death in the US, including cardiovascular disease, malignant neoplasm, cardiovascular, cerebrovascular disease, accidents, diabetes, septicemia, and hypertension. A global sleep survey conducted in 2019 found that 62% of adults believe they do not get enough sleep, with most falling short of the recommended 8 hours per night. On weekdays, adults average 6.8 hours of sleep, while weekends saw an increase to 7.8 hours. By way of comparison, people averaged 9 hours of sleep per night in 1910. Critically, 44% of respondents also reported a deterioration in their sleep quality over the past 5 years. So all these studies gives the idea that sleep deprivation is increasing nowadays and the quality of sleep is getting disturbed, and all this will leads to the many sort of sleep disorders. And you can see the diagram over here. This shows the relative contribution of multiple determinants to health outcomes. So this study emphasized that among various factors, including behavior, social interactions, genetics, environment, and medical care, behavioral changes stand out as the most influential in shaping one's health. Thus, addressing and modifying behaviors becomes a primary intervention for maintaining good health, with sleep being a notable modifiable behavior to focus on. The Ayurveda emphasized that the concept that prevention is better than cure. In Ashtanga Hridaya Sutrasthana, Vagbhata says, Nityam hitahara vihara sevi samikshakari vishayeshva saktaha Dataha sama satyapara shamavan aptopasevi cha bhavatya rogaha. So, before getting a disease, we should correct our behavior so that we can be healthy. So, prior to falling ill, it's essential to proactively adjust our behaviors to maintain good health. Now, I request Dr. Priyada to highlight some of the interesting aspects related to the sleep in non-Ayurvedic textbooks.
Thank you. Now, I would like to share some of the verses that are told in the non-Ayurvedic textbook that highlights the sleep as an important component of behavior that is nurturing the health and wellness. A text named Chanda Kaushika. It is a text on Jain philosophy that quotes about the sleep as Nidrahi Nama Praninam Prathamamidam Sharira Dharana Nimitam. That means it's the first or the pivotal reason for the body sustenance. Yet another text, Kavya Mimamsa, also quotes the important relation between the sleep and health. That is Samyak Swapo Vapusha Paramarogyaya. That means proper sleep helps to promote health, and this shows a strong relationship between sleep and health in non-Ayurvedic textbooks. Chanda Kaushika not only explains the importance of sleep on health, but also beautifully explains its multifaceted benefits in elaborate. Chittam prasadayadi lakhava madadadi pratyangam ujjwalayadi pratibha vishesham doshan udasyadi karodi cha dhadu samyam anandam arpayadi yoga vishesha gamyam. The meaning is the ananda that is attained by the practice of yoga vishesha gamyam, can be attained through proper sleep also. It leads to the relaxation of mind, that is chittam prasadayadi. Pratyangam laghava madadadi, which means it imparts a sense of lightness in each organ. Ujjwalayadi pratibha vishesham, enhances the intelligence, and doshan udasyadi, that means bring back the dosha to balance. And Karodija Dhadu Samyam, contribute to the overall health and facilitate the attainment of unique state of happiness. Now, there is in that shloka, the Yoga Vishesha Gamyam, that it phrase translates to the Ananda that can be attained by the practice of yoga. This concept of Ananda or bliss through yoga can be extended to the life of a normal individual aspect. The teachings in Bhagavad Gita emphasize the importance of balance and moderation in various aspects of life, and this wisdom can certainly apply to both yogis as well as the normal people. The shloka Yuktahara Viharasya Yukta Cheshtasya Karmasu Yukta Swapnavabodhasya Yogo Bhavati Dukhaha. That means Yuktahara Viharasya, moderate eating and recreation. Yukta Cheshtasya Karmasu, balanced in work. Yukta Swapna Avabodhasya, that means regulated sleep and wakefulness. Yoga Pavadi Dukha. Yoga becomes the slayer of sorrows. Yoga becomes the destroyer of pain for him who is moderate in eating and recreation, such as walking, etc. And those who exercise in moderation, and who is moderate in sleep and wakefulness. The another shloka in Bhagavad Gita, Natyashnatastu yogosti, na cha ekantam anashnataha, na chari swapnashilasya jagrato naiva charjuna. There must be a constant balance in everything that one does. This is the meaning of shloka. And eating of too much or eating very little, sleeping too much or sleeping very little, for example, are not methods of succeeding in yoga. Even though these slokas are mentioning about the yoga, by incorporating these principles into the moderation and balance into their daily life, not only yogis but also normal individuals can experience a sense of contentment and well-being. The yoga in the broader context can be seen as a path to finding the inner peace and happiness by harmonizing various aspects of life, ultimately leading to the slaying sorrows and the attainment of deeper sense of joy and fulfillment. Now, Dr. Sham will give us a comprehensive overview of various factors that affect the sleep and their classification.
Thank you, Dr. Priyada. So, by now, we would have understood the importance of sleep and what are the various angles with which, these non-Ayurvedic classical textbooks have looked into the sleep. So, in the coming slides, we will discuss about the factors and its classification. But now I would like to broadly classify, as and when these points come, we will be discussing it in depth. But I would like to first broadly classify them here. So when looking into the aspects of sleep explained in various non-Ayurvedic textbooks, there are, so you can categorize them into internal factors, the external factors, disease, diet. So the internal factors include psychological factors, behavioral factors, physiopathological factors, whereas the external factors include the problems arising from external environment, the sound, the external temperature, light, etc. So in total, the setting, the sleep setting. And the third factor being the disease, various diseases and how it impacts the sleep, and of course, the diet. So these are the classifications under which these textbooks have, discussed the concept of sleep. So I would like to request Dr. Priyada to elaborate on the internal factors.
Thank you. Now, the internal factors, the first factor is a psychological factor. And according to ancient scriptures, there are some slokas that highlights the understanding to the effect of psychological factors in sleep. There are some verses that highlight this point. They are Asha Pashe Paritanga Ye Bhavanti Narorditaha Te Ratro Sherate Neva Tada Prapti Vijindaya. This is a shloka from Skanda Purana. Those affected by desires often find it challenging to sleep peacefully at night, as their anxieties about the unfulfilled desires keep them awake. And next is a sloka from Shiva Purana telling Naratro Vindade Nidram Kamakni Pariveditaha Divapija Kudasaukyam Arthoparjana Chintaya. That means this indeed verse highlight the potential negative impacts of pursuing the Kama and Artha. Kama Agni Pariveditaha. That Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, these are considered as the Purusharthas or the primary life goals. And Kama and Artha within the framework of Purushartha, even though it is under the framework of Purushartha, it underscores how an excessive focus on these pursuits can disrupt both nighttime rest and morning contentment. And next is a sloka from Garuda Purana. Kuto nidra daridrasya parapreshvarasya ja paranari prasaktasya paradravyaharasya ja. Kuto nidra daridrasya. That means lack of sleep often plagues the poor, burdened by financial worries. Parapreshvarasya ja. Assistants and servants overwhelmed by constant tasks suffer sleeplessness. And Paranari prasaktasya paradravya harasya. Those indulging in excessive desires and thievery, haunted by the fear of discovery, also find the rest elusive. And according to the modern understanding, the psychological factors, that is stress, anxiety, and etc., can hinder sleep initiation. And relaxation techniques and calm mental state are important for the smooth transition into sleep. High levels of stress and anxiety can lead to middle of night awakenings as well as difficulty in sleep initiation. Disturbed sleep can be both considered as a cause as well as an effect. This creates a cyclical relationship between psychological factors and sleep disturbances. One contributes to the other. Continuing our exploration of internal factors, Dr. Sushma will now shed light on the behavioral aspect that can impact your sleep.
Thank you, Dr. Priyada. So after psychological factors, the very important factor comes under internal factor is behavioral factors. So behavioral factors play a significant role in disrupting the body's circadian rhythm, the internal clock regulating the sleep-wake cycle. So this rhythm determines when one feels most alert during the day and naturally drowsy at night. So if you see the non-Ayurvedic textbook, the ancient texts like Manusmriti provide profound insight into sleep timing, aligning with our modern understanding that we are hormonally programmed. Manusmriti, for instance, states, Aho Ratri Vibhajate Suryo Manusha Devike Ratri Swapnaya Bhutanam Cheshtaye Karmana Maha. So emphasizing the importance of sleep timing by dividing the day-night cycle based on the sun's movement. This text designates the night for restful sleep and the day for engaging in activities and work. So this ancient insight beautifully aligns with the modern concept of the circadian rhythm. In contemporary scientific studies, we found evidence of various factors impacting sleep. The modern understanding of hormones and neurotransmitter is a concept that may not have a direct counterpart in Ayurveda, but it can be related to the Ayurvedic concept of doshas. So if you see the neurotransmitter, brain neurotransmitters play a vital role in initiating sleep. GABA, an inhibitory neurotransmitter promoting relaxation and sleepiness, aligns with the Ayurvedic kapha dosha, symbolizing restful sleep. On the other hand, neurotransmitters like cortisol, serotonin, and norepinephrine, which influence wakefulness and can be linked to vata dosha in Ayurveda, representing qualities of movement and alertness. Additionally, Ayurvedic wisdom offers valuable guidance for maintaining a healthy sleep schedule, emphasizing the importance of nighttime sleep. The ancient Sanskrit phrase "Ratro Jagaranam Ruksham Snigdam Praswapnam Diva" underscores that ideal time for sleep during the night. Aruksham Abhishyandi Tva Asina Prachalaitam, while discouraging daytime sleep in general. Ayurveda allows for power naps provided they are taken in seated position and for a brief period. Interestingly, it recommends day sleep specifically in summers and before meals. Due to morning sleep, the Acharya have told that it can be reason for many diseases like Kushta. Vyavaya cha api ajirne anne nidram cha vajatam diva. Explained in Charaka Chikisastan. So if you see the non-Ayurvedic textbook, the night is divided into 4 yamas according to ancient scriptures. So Parvati Yama, the time will be between 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Durga Yama time is between 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Kaliyama time period is 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. and Saraswati Yama time is 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. So each yama consists of 4 hours. So sleeping before Kaliyama and waking after Saraswati Yama gives 8 hours of sleep. So the time for sleep emphasized in text Daksha Smriti as Pradosha Paschimau Yamo Vedabhyasena Tau Naye Praharadvayam Shayano Hi Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. So Daksha Smriti is a text that attributed to Daksha Prajapati stands as one of the earliest Hindu law texts and serve as a valuable source of knowledge on conduct and duty in ancient times. So this explains that the 2 yamas of the night, one should engage in Veda study or Veda Abhyasa. During the middle 2 yamas, find peaceful sleep. Such individuals may attain the state of Brahma Kaivalya, the ultimate union with the divine. So the 2 yama, that is approximately 6 hours, is the time for sleeping told in ancient scriptures. The profound connection between these ancient Sanskrit references and modern scientific findings underscores the timeless wisdom of aligning our daily activities, sleep patterns, and hormonal rhythms for overall well-being. So both these traditions emphasize the importance of respecting our circadian rhythm to optimize sleep quality and overall health. Some Ayurveda refer of not indulging in day sleep to be mentioned. Power naps are allowed, but to do it sitting and for a short period of time. Only in summer before eating food, day sleep is indicated. If you see the modern studies, they emphasize the importance of hormones in inducing sleep. In that, mainly melatonin produced by the pineal gland increases as evening approaches, signaling the body to prepare the sleep. So this hormone is influenced by the circadian rhythm. Interestingly, there is a connection between declining melatonin production with age and the rising prevalence of insomnia, sparking the idea of melatonin replacement to enhance sleep. Additionally, we can see an interesting coincidence regarding the Kaliyama and the modern concept of hormone. Kaliyama is the time where the melatonin secretion is more, and this also called as dark hormone. Kaliyama, these ancient concepts recognize the importance of the body's circadian rhythm in regulating the sleep-wake cycle. So now I request Dr. Priyada to highlight next factor, diet and its impact on sleep.
Thank you, Dr. Sushma. Now, this is next factor is diet and its impact on sleep. In ancient textbooks, it is told that Naivagnir dipyate tesham jadharascha tadaparam aharam manchade neva tamna tejobhivartanam. That is a shloka from Skanda Purana. Skanda Purana is one of the Mahapurana, as I all know. And in that shloka, it is telling Naivagnir dipyate tesham jadharascha tadaparam. When individuals struggle with inadequate sleep, their digestive fire can weaken, leading to digestive issues and reduced appetite. Aharam vanchade naiva tanna tejobhivartanam. This in turn hampers the development of tejas, that is inner radiance and overall well-being. It indeed highlights the interconnectedness of sleep and digestion in traditional Indian wisdom. And this concept aligns with the Ayurvedic and yogic philosophies, which emphasize the importance of balanced sleep patterns, that is, including both quantity and quality of sleep for maintaining the physical and mental health. In Ayurveda, digestion is considered as a key factor in overall health, and disturbances in sleep and can disrupt the digestive process, leading to various health issues. Now, I request Dr. Shyam to explain further on the modern aspect of the topic.
Thank you, Dr. Priyada. So, as Dr. Priyada mentioned, that the diet and sleep are very much closely connected, I would like to bring your attention to some of the concepts from modern science which talk about it. So, consumption of sweets and sugary drinks are very much related to poor sleep quality. There have been studies which mention about people who consume a sweet diet at bedtime having poor quality of sleep. Then there is also a study which mentions that people who skip breakfast and who are into irregular meals, they also get a poor quality sleep. That means that all these kinds of diet negatively impact the sleep. And also, like, there are people, again, most of the people, I would say, that who consume excessive calorie intake, and also very late meals, very late night meals, so which potentially contribute to insomnia. And many of them even take caffeine led drinks, uh, like beverages, or there are many energy drinks also which are now available with caffeine. So all of this causes the overall reduction in the sleep duration and also in the quality. So then there is also a factor which can influence sleep from the diet, that is inadequate nutrition, which in turn causes inflammation. For example, people who are deprived of many required nutritions in the required amount, they in their body there may start a inflammatory process, and this inflammation slowly may heat up the body, and this heating up of the body may again become the cause for insomnia. And then complex nutritional mechanisms like the diet, the metabolites, and the commensal microbiota also play a very important role in sleep quality and regulation. So looking at the Ayurvedic perspective of the relationship between diet and sleep, in Ayurvedic point of view, we can see that the types of food that we consume have the have a significant impact on the um, balance of doshas. So as we take food, as you know, the doshas are dynamic in nature and they tend to change, and consequently your sleep patterns will also get affected by the type of food that you consume. So foods with sweet, that is madhura rasa, tend to increase the kapha dosha, and therefore consuming sweet foods can increase kapha dosha, which in turn can induce sleepiness. So if you want to be awake, you want to be alert in during the daytime, then better take care that you don't take much of sweet food. And sweet foods are also helpful in inducing sleep, so that way it can also help you to sleep better. Caffeine laden foods, found in coffee and certain other beverages, can also disrupt sleep by prolonging the duration of sleep induction and reducing overall sleep duration and quality if consumed in excess, because as I said before, it increases, or it has a direct impact on the vata and pitta doshas. So the vata dosha, which represents qualities such as movement and alertness, and pitta dosha, which is associated with heat and intensity, both of them tend to increase. So an increase in vata and pitta dosha can lead to decreased sleep or difficulty in falling asleep. So skipping meals or having irregular eating patterns can disrupt the balance of vata dosha, and vata dosha is sensitive to irregular routines and tends to become aggravated when meals are skipped or eaten at erratic times. So this imbalance can contribute to decreased sleep quality. So from an Ayurvedic perspective, the relationship between diet and sleep is indeed very close. to the doshas. So consuming foods that increase kapha dosha, like the foods like madhura rasa, which has a predominance of madhura rasa, that is sweet, induce sleep because it increases the kapha dosha. And whereas the foods which work or which aggravate the vata and pitta tend to disturb the quality of sleep. So to maintain a healthy sleep pattern, Ayurveda recommends a balanced diet that aligns with your individual constitution, that is called as the Prakriti, and current dosha imbalance, that is the Vikriti. So everyone has their own Prakriti, and you have to understand your own Prakriti and eat or consume diet which are compatible to you. So that is very important. So it emphasizes the importance of moderation, regularity in the meals, and choosing foods that help to balance us to support restful sleep. So there is also a verse mentioned in Charaka Samhita which emphasizes the importance of diet and sleep, which goes like Dehavrito yatha aharas tatha swapnaha sukhomatah swapnahara samuthecha Thaulya Kashe Visheshataha. This is a shloka from Ashtanga Hridaya in Charaka Samhita Ashtau Ninditiya Adhyaya, which says that as wholesome diet is essential for the maintenance of the body, sleep is essential for happiness. And therefore, obesity and leanness are specifically caused by improper sleep and diet. So any alter in both of these can cause changes in the body constitution and body appearance itself. That is, it can cause obesity or leanness. And from modern point of view, the idea of sleep and digestion is also, are interrelated. Like the circadian rhythm pathways plays an important role in the gastrointestinal functioning, the inflammation, metabolic regulation, hormone signaling, and alteration in sleep quality have an effect on quality of life as well. So this has been well studied, and understanding the connections between sleep and digestion is very much essential for promoting holistic health and well-being. And it underscores the importance of a balanced lifestyle that includes both restorative sleep and a healthy diet. So with these words, I invite Dr. Priyada for further discussions with some other verses from these non-Ayurvedic classical texts.
Thank you. Now, next factor is exercise. And when we look on to the non-Ayurvedic textbooks, we can see a sloka from Harivamsha Purana that Annaja Bhuvi Martyanam Shramajava Kathanjana Naisha Bhavati Lokasya Nidra Sarvasya Laukiki. That Harivamsha Purana, this is a text believed to be the Khilastana of Mahabharata and is traditionally ascribed to Vyasa. In this text, the shloka is telling that some may find sleep by annaja, that is eating, and slum, while others through shrama, that is exercise. Nevertheless, the nighty sleep that descends upon all is a universal experience, and this shows the relation of diet with sleep, that the exercise as well as the circadian rhythm. These three factors are connected with the sleep, are interconnected. This is highlighted in this shloka. The night is the time when people feel naturally drowsy. And when we look on to the modern aspect, we can see that a relationship between sleep quality and training intensity has also been observed in modern understanding, that the moderate and intense physical activity has a positive effect on the sleep quality. The people who practice physical activity sleep better and longer than others with a sedentary lifestyle. by introducing the appropriate amount of physical activity and the time spent outdoors, and by engaging in the activities such as walking, we can use the non-pharmacological method to improve the quality of sleep. The long-term physical activity has a positive effect on the quality of sleep, and the body temperature can have the physical activity, especially the regular exercise, can improve the quality of sleep by affecting the adenosine levels and the body temperature. However, when performed too late in the evening, it can cause sleep disruption by increasing the physiological arousal. This is from a study that was done in the done with the physical activity, and this is not the like the body temperature or the individual variability. Body temperature is not told in the Ayurvedic or directly told in Ayurvedic or non-Ayurvedic textbook, but the studies have proved this. And according to the individual variability, the impact of exercise on sleep varies from person to person. That some people may be more sensitive to late night exercise and some experience sleep disturbances, while other may not be affected. That it is told in Ayurvedic and non-Ayurvedic that that certain category of people should do this type of this much exercise, like alpa, artha, madhya, etc. Are told in the textbooks. And now, when we look on to the Ayurvedic aspect, it is told that there are many convergences that is with the Ayurveda. Ayurveda, the traditional Indian system of medicine, emphasizes that the madhyama, sarvadharmeshu madhyama, that is moderation in all aspects of life, including exercise. This principle suggests that neither excessive nor inadequate exercise is conducive to overall well-being. Instead, an appropriate amount of physical activity that is tailored to an individual's constitution or prakriti and current state of health, that is vikriti, is recommended. In Charaka Samhita, there is a sloka in Ashtaniditi Adhyaya that Acharya will explain the Vyayama as one of the reasons for insomnia. That in the sloka, Kayasya Shirasaseva Virekas Chardanam Bhayam Chinda Krothas Tatha Bhumo Vyayamo Rektamokshanam Upavaso Asukha Shayya Sattvodaryam Tamojaya Nidra Prasangam Ahidam Varayandi Samuthitam Ede Evacha Vigneya Nidranasasya Hetavaha Karyam Kalo Vikarasya Prakritir Vayurevacha. That means elimination of dosha from the body and the head through the purgation and emesis, predominance of sattva and suppression of tamas, emotions such as fear, anxiety, and anger, the habits and activities such as smoking, physical exercise, bloodletting, fasting, environmental settings such as uncomfortable bed, excessive sleeplessness will be have to be overcome. The above mentioned factors, along with the overwork, old age, Vadika diseases, Vadika constitution, and aggravation of Vada itself, are known to cause sleeplessness even in normal individual. Some are insomnia even by nature. So, both in Ayurveda and modern science, these emphasize the importance of moderation and individualization. When it comes to exercise, its effects on sleep, and it's crucial for the individuals to listen to their bodies and consider their unique circumstances and adapt their exercise routines accordingly to promote better health, better sleep and health. Now, let's delve deeper into the external factors affecting the sleep, such as environmental influences and health condition. Dr. Shyam will now guide us through this aspect.
Yes. So as we looked at the internal factors, now it is also important that we maintain a very good environment for us to sleep. So sleep maintenance is also one of the important aspects. So it is not only enough that you sleep instantaneously as soon as you go to bed. It is also important that you maintain that quality of sleep. Only then the body gets proper rest. So it is in this context that the external factors play an important role. So creating a comfortable and conducive sleep environment is crucial for sleep maintenance. And factors to consider include comfortable mattress and pillows, a comfortable room or a cool room temperature, minimal noise, minimal light exposure. All of these are very much required uh, for a person to fall asleep. Otherwise, the opposite of all of these factors may cause disturbed sleep, or even wake, the person may get awakened soon after falling asleep. So the sleep may not be sound. So this is what is told in the in the modern perspective. If you look at, and the same idea has been put forth in ancient text called as Shiva Tattva Ratnakara, which functions as an encyclopedia encompassing diverse subjects relevant to its historical context, and it provides an intricate insight into the significance of ancient people attached to both Shayya Sukha and the act of sleep itself, which is evident through its meticulous documentation of 7 distinct types of beds and 8 varieties of cots, which are mentioned in this particular textbook. So I will just mention, you can see that there is a mention of Saptavidha Shayya, which means there are 7 types of cots, and the verse ends with Mancha with Dhir Ashtadha, which means the beds are of or cots are of 8 types, and the beds are of 7 types. So this is a comprehensive coverage which underscores the profound importance that has been placed on optimizing sleep and comfort within the cultural and practical considerations of that era. And looking at the Ayurvedic perspective, the same concept has been mentioned in various contexts in Ayurveda also, like the environmental cause such as darkness, temperature, noise levels are very much mentioned in contexts such as Ritucharya, wherein the Acharya, Ritucharya is the context where the environment, the various seasons are mentioned, and how you need to adapt to various changes in the seasons, how the food habits are to be changed, how the lifestyle habits are to be changed, are all mentioned. And in this context, it is told to have an environment which is suitable to the changing environmental conditions or the habitats. And it is told to make a cool, noise-free, calm environment and reside in that, because it will help for a proper sleep and thereby stay relaxed, especially during summers, where it is recommended for people to stay outside the homes and or stay in a place where there is a good flow of wind, so that the body cools and a person falls asleep very well. So the shloka mentioned here is Diva Shita Grahe Nidram Nishi Chandramshu Shitale. So in the daytime, it has been told to sleep in a place where it is very cool, or Shita Graha means a place where the environment is very cool, and Nishi Chandramshu Shitale, and expose yourself to an environment which has direct moon rays falling on you. So this has been mentioned in this particular context of Ritucharya. And even according to modern understanding, the same external conditions are mentioned to be affecting sleep. So growing epidemiological data demonstrate that environmental features have a very strong association with the range of sleep outcomes. The symptoms of restless sleep, delayed sleep onset, disrupted sleep, and snoring collected in many population surveys are not diagnostic for sleep disorders. However, these sleep outcomes are associated with adverse neighborhood environments, which may be a harbinger of insomnia, insufficient sleep, circadian rhythm disorders, and sleep disordered breathing pathology in the at-risk individual. So this has been well studied, and this I have quoted from a published paper. And the sleep disturbance induced by nighttime noise is a very serious environmental problem that can even cause adverse health effects such as hypertension and ischemic heart disease. This has also been published in a paper, and that is why we have given so much of importance to the external environment. And the fifth factor, being the disease, is also very much important as that of the external factors. So, Arogya Samskriti, that is the non-Ayurvedic classical text, one of such texts, that is Garuda Purana, mentions that Sukham Swapityanavritan Yadhimuktasya yo naraha, which means sound sleep graces those who are free from depths and untouched by illness. So only a person who is, healthy can sleep or can have good or sound sleep, or a person who is stress-free. Stress-free here means anurnavan, which means, if you have depths, you may have stress. So it is just a mention of depth here, but all kinds of stress are to be understood by this context. And in Ayurveda, generally there is a mention of type of nidra called as Vyadhyanuvartini nidra. Vyadhyanuvartini nidra means the type of nidra which is caused due to the vyadhi or the disease. For example, the patient who are suffering with some certain disease condition, they do not get good sleep. Na chapi nidram labate shayanaha shwasa piditaha. So a person who is suffering from disorders of respiratory system may not be able to sleep properly. So this has also been mentioned. So even the disease a person suffers from can cause disturbed sleep. And there is also a mention of, Kafaja Nidra in the context, Kafaja Jwara in the context of fevers, where the fevers are explained. There is a particular type of fever which is caused due to the increase or aggravation of kapha, wherein the symptom mentioned is Nidradikhyam. Nidradikhyam means because of the increase of kapha in the body, the person may get excessive sleep. So this can also alter sleep patterns in an individual. So disease can cause sleep deprivation due to physical discomfort like pain, respiratory difficulties during sleep, as well as psychological symptoms like anxiety or depression that can disrupt sleep patterns, which I already mentioned. And medications and hormonal imbalances related to illnesses may also interfere with sleep, leading to insufficient or fragmented rest, and further impacting overall health of an individual. So I now invite Dr. Sushma to discuss about this further.
Thank you, Dr. Sham. So far in our previous slides, we discussed various etiological factors such as internal, external, disease factor, and poor dietary choices and lack of exercise. And all these etiological factors having a greater impact on sleep initiation and also sleep maintenance. Let us see first what exactly sleep initiation here. This refers to the process of transitioning from wakefulness to the initial stage of sleep. It is governed by physiological and neurological factors, including the circadian rhythm, the homeostatic sleep drive, and interaction among neurotransmitters in the brain. So whereas in sleep maintenance, it ensuring that sleep continues without frequent awakening or disruption. So these factors collectively contribute to sleep disruption. In the context of sleep initiation, it's worth noting that it represents a transition state between wakefulness and deep sleep, where the mind enters a realm of dreams and is less responsive to external stimuli. This state falls between the waking, that is Jagrata Avastha, and the dreaming, Swapna Avastha phases. Now, I request Dr. Priyada to highlight the different stages of sleep or Nidra Avasthas explained in our ancient text.
Thank you. Now, when we look on to the ancient text, we can see that the states of sleep have been discussed in Vasishtha Samhita, and also it is told by Shankaracharya. And in Vasishtha Samhita, it is told that Bhunte cha bahya karanai tattu jagrad dasha bhave swapnebi bahya shunyasya bhoktur bhukti pratirtita. That means when a person derives pleasure from external stimuli, it is referred to as Jagrat Avastha or the waking state. In the state of Swapna or dreaming, the enjoyment occurs without the reliance on the external stimuli. And in Shankaracharya, another shloka explains as Indriyanam uparame mano anuparadam yadi sevade vishayaneva tadvidya swapna darshanam. When the senses or indriyas are withdrawn, but the mind remains engaged with the external objects or vishayas, it is referred to as a state of swapna or dreaming. This is a swapna avastha. And the same Vasishtha Samhita also explains the sloka Anakranti Indriya Chidro Yata Shubdho Andareva Saha Samvidana Bhavatyashu Sa Swapna Iti Kathyate, which means when the external senses, that is Bhakya Karana or Indriyas, are withdrawn, yet internal mental faculties, Manas or Antakarana, remain active, allowing the experience of internal objects, the memories of the Vishayas, that is Mano Vishayas, about the instances that they have seen during the wakeful state, it is termed as the state of Swapna or dreaming. There are some of the references that quote the Jagrat and Swapna Avastha, these in the ancient textbooks. Now, when we look on to the modern, we can see that sleep occurs in 5 stages, that is wakeful, N1, N2, N3, and REM sleeps. Stages N1 to N3 are considered as non-rapid eye movement sleep, which with each stage a progressively deeper sleep. Approximately 75% of sleep is spent in NREM stages. And when the majority is spent in the N2 stage, in the NREM itself, majority is spent in the N2 stage. A typical night sleep consists of 4 to 5 sleep cycles, with the progression of sleep stages in the following order, that is N1, N2, N3, N2, REM. And a complete sleep cycle takes around 90 to 110 minutes of time duration. The first REM period is short, and as the night progresses, longer period of REM, rapid eye movement sleep, and the decreased non-rapid eye movement sleep will occur. And this is well studied in many modern studies. And now Dr. Sushma will focus on the solutions emphasizing the significance of sleep hygiene, particularly the time and the duration of the sleep as outlined in the ancient scriptures, an integral aspect of fostering the healthy sleep habits.
Thank you, Priyada. Yes, if you see our ancient scriptures, all these scriptures strongly emphasize the importance of timing and duration of sleep. There are 2 perspectives regarding the duration of yama. One considering it as 3 hours as 1 yama, and other category people consider 1 yama as equal to 4 hours. In the context of the 4-hour interpretation, if one goes to sleep before the onset of Kali Yama and awakens by the end of Saraswati Yama, they can achieve a total of 8 hours of sleep. So this aligns with the shift of doshas in Ayurveda. We have seen that Dakshasmriti presents a different viewpoint, suggesting that only 6 hours of sleep are necessary. This contradicts the alternative perspective of 8 hours of sleep. But the shortest sleep duration mentioned in Daksha Smriti may be attributed to the assumption that people of that era followed a particular lifestyle. For them, those who engage in more spiritual practices would compensate for reduced sleep. They likely obtain adequate rest through a combination of meditation and sleep. In today's circumstances, if you see, where the spiritual aspect is often lacking and the available time for sleep is limited. So, this issue deserves closer examination. So, the above advice is recommended for people who only lead such a lifestyle. Now, I request Dr. Priyada to elaborate on the benefit of timely sleep in various non-Ayurvedic ancient texts.
Yes. Now, when we look on to the benefits of sleep, it is told in Skanda Purana, Ye Swapandi Sukham Ratro. The sloka will be Ye Swapandi Sukham Ratro Tesham Kayakni Rithyate Aharam Pradigranhadi Tada Pushtikaram Puram. It is a sloka from Skanda Purana. That means Ye Swapandi Sukham Ratro, those who enjoy sound sleep at night. Tesham Kayakni Rithyate tend to have heightened Kayakni and Aharam Pradigranhadi, enabling them to digest food effectively. Tada Pushtikaram Param. That means it helps to maintain good health. In Ayurveda also, the sloka Nidrayatam Sukham Dukkam Pushtik Karsham Balabalam Vrishada Klivada Jnanam Ajnanam Jividam Naja. This is one of the sloka that is telling about both the strength and weakness of the sleep. If one is performing the sleep well, he will get the benefits. If it is not, he will have the negative effects. In the sloka meaning is that in human beings, happiness and misery, nourishment and emaciation, pushtik karshyam, bala abalam, that is strength and weakness, vrishada klivada, fertility and infertility, jnana vajnanam, knowledge and ignorance, and longevity, jividam naja, that means longevity and death depend upon the proper or the proper and the improper sleep. Untimely excessive sleep and sleep deprivation take away both happiness and longevity from a person. Similarly, proper sleep brings about happiness and longevity in human beings, just as the real knowledge bring about the spiritual power in the yogis. The same is said in the ancient text in Sushra Samhita, Stigalsa Sthana. It is told that Pushtar Varna Balo Ulsaha Agnidiptim Atandridam Karodi Thadu Samyam Cha Nidra Kale Nishevita. That means Pushti, that is nourishment, Varna, complexion, Bala, strength, Ulsaha, enthusiasm, Agnidipti, proper Agni or digestion, Atandrida, a glowing energy, Thadu Samyam, balanced body constituents. These are the benefits of the timely sleep. When we look on to the modern, we can see that the sleep plays a vital role in the good health and well-being. It is well studied, and the way you feel well when you are awake depends on the part of what happens when you are on the sleeping. So the same is accepted in the modern also. The studies have been done. So, and I now request Dr. Sushma to kindly emphasize the importance of timely sleep and offer tips for a peaceful sleep and highlight how our ancient wisdom on sleep hygiene can enhance our modern lifestyle for better rest.
Thank you, Priyada. So, above mentioned all shlokas highlights the importance of timely sleep, as Dr. Priyada has explained. Along with this, Shastra also explains the importance of consistent sleep schedule and that which aligns to our sleep routine with our circadian rhythm, with an emphasis on sleeping during the second 2 yamas of the night as recommended in Ayurveda. Exploring different types of sleep such as Ratri Swabhava Prabhavacha Nidra, that is, one has to train himself to sleep only at night and not to encourage ourselves to sleep during day unless very necessary. The next factor is relaxation technique. So here incorporating relaxation practices like chanting hymns for enhanced mental strength and peace of mind to facilitate better sleep. And also regular exercise also. So it is mentioned that we have to follow the regular physical activity as per WHO recommendation criteria. A type of nidra called as Mana Sharira Shrama Sambhava Nidra has been mentioned in Ayurveda. It is said that when a person is physically and mentally exhausted, he falls asleep naturally. Along with this, adaptation of healthy diet, which will support the sleep quality, and food which will increase kapha or that which is anxious in nature, and shita which has cold potency, etc., will cause the sleep. The shloka goes, Shleshma Samudbhava Nidra. Should sleep according to, and it also recommended in Ayurveda that we should sleep according to the season. It is mentioned like Grishma Rutu, it is advised like you can go for the day sleep. So these are some of the tips which we can refer for the timely sleep preferences. Now I request Priyada to highlight some more point on sleep hygiene from the Ayurveda perspective.
Yes, this is a sloka that is from the Ayurveda that telling that the sleep promoting measures explain the Charaka Samhita Ashtav Nindidhiya Adhyaya. It is Abhyango Ulsadanam Snanam Gramyanupa Udagarasaha Shalyanam Sadadhik Kshiram Sneho Madhyam Manasukham Manaso Anuguna Ganthaha Shabdaha Samvahanani Cha Chakshusho Tarpanam Lepaha Shiraso Vadanasya Cha Swastirnam Shayanam Veshma Sukham Kalastathochitaha Anayatya Ajiran Nidram Pranashta ya nimittataha. That means if for some reason one suffers from sleeplessness, these procedures can be followed. He can be cured by applying measures such as body massages, unction bath, and soup made of meat of domestic marshy and or aquatic animals, shali rice with curd, milk, fat, wine, mental pleasure, that is pleasant smell, sound, etc., and application of soothing ointments to the eyes, head, and face, and the comfortable bed and home, and getting habituated to the sleeping in a particular type. These all are some of the treatment measures told in Ayurveda for improving the sleep. Now, when we look onto the modern, we can see that they have emphasized for taking adequate protein intake. Ensuring an appropriate intake of protein will help to support the sleep quality, and consumption of sleep enhancing compounds such as tryptophan, melatonin, serotonin. These rich food can improve the sleep quality, and the vitamins and minerals, adequate intake of vitamins and minerals can positively help on the sleep quality. And the balanced macronutrient intake, that is balanced intake of carbohydrate, fats, etc., play an important role in the sleep quality. And the diet rich in fish, seafood, vegetables, etc., these can improve the sleep quality. And the consumption of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, such foods have a positive effect on the sleep, likely due to the nutritional content and the anti-inflammatory properties. Now I pass the discussion to Dr. Shyam.
So we looked at various aspects related to sleep, its classification, the attributes such as internal and the external factors, the diet, exercise, and how they influence both positively and negatively on the sleep quality. We also looked at various studies related to them and what they indicated, drawing quotes from various classical texts. So we also got to know many tips to improve the quality of sleep. So to conclude, I would like to quote a verse from Skanda Purana, which goes like, Evam Yatva Mahabhaga Purushena Vijanata Diva Tatkarma Kurvita Yena Ratro Sukham Supet. It says, Dear knowledgeable one, please comprehend insights and strive to ensure a restful night's sleep by adopting habits that promote healthy sleep. So, we must understand the importance of sleep as they are so extensively mentioned in various non-Ayurvedic classical texts, and resonate with the point that I initially started the discussion with, that sleep is one among the Traya Upasthambha, the sub pillars of body sustenance and health. Hence, one must make all the necessary care to maintain its quality for a healthy life. Having said this, I now invite Dr. Ram Manohar, who will conclude this webinar with his comments. Thank you.
Namaste. So I would like to thank the discussions, Dr. Shyamasundaren, Dr. Sushma, and Dr. Priyada for that very interesting conversation on sleep and health and the content that has been described in various Sanskrit literature that are not strictly medical textbooks, and also for correlating it with modern research findings and the information available in the branch of sleep medicine. So we'll come back to you again with more, such webinars on various topics related to Arogya Samskriti. Namaste.